Great. Hi, I am Ashley Latta. I am the Military Collections Archivist with the State Archives of North Carolina. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what we do and how it relates to the 1940s, specifically World War II, one of our very cool recent collections. Like I said, I am the Military Collections Archivist. The Military Collection is a relatively small collection within the state archives, but we have some really amazing records. We have everything from pre-Revolutionary War, so the regulator movement and French and Indian conflicts, all the way up to current conflicts and wars. And we have everything from um, veterans from North Carolina or who have lived in North Carolina for a long time, anything relating to battles that happened in North Carolina, so specifically Revolutionary and Civil War material. Dealing with those battles. Bentonville is a really big one. And then anything relating to military installations in North Carolina. We're very fortunate in North Carolina to have some very large, very prominent military installations, specifically Fort Liberty and Camp Lejeune, but also the temporary ones like Camp Green during World War One and Camp Butner in World War Two. So we have a lot of really, really great physical material. We also have a large collection of veterans' oral histories that are a part of the military collection. So veterans from any conflict are welcome to, share their experience with either myself or the oral historian, and we save those, and researchers can access them and get so much information about what daily life as somebody in the military is like. So the State Archives of North Carolina has so much more than just military. We have a ton of materials relating to private manuscripts, organization records, county records, and state agencies. And so much of this is already digitized. So if anybody wants to see it, they can absolutely go online. We have things like photos and posters and correspondence, and all of those oral histories are all available online completely for free. Not everything is digitized, so some things you do have to come on site for. Our main office is in downtown Raleigh. Researchers can access our search room Tuesday through Friday from 9 to 5 or 9 to 1 on Saturdays. And if you are looking for something that is a little more regional specific, we have satellite offices in Manio, which is the Outer Banks History Center, or Asheville, which is the Western Regional Archive. So yeah, anybody in the archives would be more than happy to help with any questions, research questions, genealogy questions. So yeah. So I'm going to talk a little bit about a specific World War II veteran, World War II and other conflicts, actually, but a collection that we just got in recently that I'm very excited about. And it is a collection from a man named Thomas Farabee. Thomas Farabee was actually the bombardier on the Enola Gay. So he is the one that dropped the bomb on Hiroshima, Japan in 1945. Thomas Farabee was born in Mocksville. He was born to a large, like, farming family in Davie County in 1918. He had a very prolific sports career almost. He lettered in high school in football and almost made that a career until a foot injury ended it. So he joined the Army Air Corps in 1941, just a few months before the bomb was dropped at, or the attack at Pearl Harbor. So he was in the Army Air Corps. He succeeded very well in flight school and then did additional training as a bombardier, like I mentioned. The majority of his time in World War II was in Europe and North Africa. So he was dropping bombs on Nazi occupied territories. And he was actually the lead bombardier on the first mission in the North Africa invasion. He had hundreds of men that were kind of under his command. And in total, he completed over 60 missions in Europe and North Africa. But in 1944, a friend of his tasked him with the responsibility to train bombardiers in B 52s at a camp or a facility in Utah. So he became responsible for training all of the bombardiers for what eventually would become this mission on the Enola Gay. They trained for about 9 months, and then on August 6th, 1945, Farabee opened up the bomb bay doors and released the bomb known as Little Boy over Hiroshima. Um, Thomas Farabee would not retire after that. He stayed in the military um, for several more years. He actually served in Korea and Vietnam and didn't retire until 1970 and was given many awards for his service throughout the years. So, yeah. Um, so if you want to hear any more about Thomas Farabee or about any of our other amazing World War II veterans, or any of the other military collections we have, please feel free to reach out. I'd love to talk about her fantastic collections. So if you, my phone number and email address is on there. So yeah, thank you.